breaking news. This just in. President Biden has decided to preemptively pardon some of Donald Trump's political opponents. Let's dive into it, man. Let's dive into it.
From NBC News, this is a special report. Here's Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. We come on the air with breaking news. President Biden, in his final hours, his final morning in office, has issued several high-profile pardons.
Among those pardoned this morning, Dr. Anthony Fauci, General Mark Milley, and the members and staff who served on the House committee that investigated the January.
Now, why would Dr. Fauci, of all people, need a presidential pardon?
January 6th attack on the Capitol, including Liz Cheney.
And police officers who have spoken out as well from the Capitol Police. Let's go right to Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander. This just broke 10 minutes ago. Peter, what do you know?
Savannah, as NBC News first reported, President Biden, even yesterday, I'm told, was very seriously considering using this extraordinary presidential power to preemptively pardon some individuals. And this morning, as we are reporting, it is clear that he has decided to do just that in these final hours in office to guard against any potential revenge by the incoming Trump administration, by the incoming.
To guard against. Okay, this is NBC News right here that we're watching that's reporting this breaking crazy news that Biden has decided to do this, which is ironically unprecedented. I don't think there's ever been a time in history where a president has preemptively pardoned people just in case they might be charged or prosecuted with a crime, a federal crime. And I think it's disgusting. And I also think it's disgusting that the liberal media like NBC News, I can't watch all of them with you in this short clip, but I've watched CNN report on it. I've watched Fox News report on it, and they're all trying to paint a rosy picture of it, trying to justify a president preemptively pardoning somebody, like as if it doesn't leave a stain on these people's reputation for the rest of time. Like, if you are an American citizen and you don't see this as one of the craziest moves ever in politics, you're a sheep. If you are, we're going to keep watching, but if you buy this, you need to really sit down and take a hard look at yourself and why you believe everything the media says.
President Biden just announcing, as you note, that he is pardoning Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. That includes Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, Adam Kinzinger, among others, as well as Capitol and D.C. police who testified before that committee. I want to share with you part of what the president writes. He says, in part, our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day. They are the lifeblood of our democracy. Yet alarmingly, he adds, public servants have been subjected to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their duties. Notably, his last comments in this statement add that these pardons, he says,
faithfully discharging their duties. Okay, so the January 6th people who were, persecuting Trump. The thing about it is, like, it was talk about Trump giving some preemptive pardons to some of his cabinet and people who worked for him after his presidency, but he chose not to do it because the optics of it is just terrible, And Biden said he would never do something like that because that ain't how he operate. We're going to get into that video next. But the fact that they really believe that the American people are going to believe that they're just totally innocent, because if these people at the top of the government, Like, what does this say about the DOJ, the justice system? If the president of the United States feels like these people did nothing wrong, but I still need to give them a pardon because they could possibly go to jail for something that they didn't do, that means he has no faith in the judicial system in America. He already done pardoned his son, his crackhead son, gave him a blanket 10-year pardon for whatever he could have done over a 10-year span. So obviously he's a criminal. And in my opinion, these people have done something too. Obviously they're criminals too, because if they didn't do nothing wrong, then what's wrong? Even if Trump does want to persecute them for revenge purposes, he doesn't control the DOJ. They came after him too. And he was pretty much exonerated. He had to win the presidency and survive, assassination attempts to escape all of it. But if they really did nothing wrong, let them go through the process and be found not guilty on whatever they would be persecuted from. Let them be investigated. Let the process happen. They say nobody is above the law, but apparently that's a fucking lie. Democrats want to act so holier than thou until the shit really hits the fucking fan. This is amazing.
Should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged in any wrongdoing, nor should acceptance by them be misconstrued as any admission of guilt for any offense. He says our nation, quote, owes these public servants a debt of gratitude for their tireless commitment to our country. Now let's back up for a moment. Incoming President Trump, as you know, has been a fierce critic and has really railed against so many of those individuals that are receiving these pardons today. Most recently, in late December of last.
And why wouldn't he have some disdain for these people who, in his mind, have unfairly persecuted him since he decided to run for president way back when, and have been tirelessly on his ass trying to put him in prison or worse? Why wouldn't he want to maybe look into things they've done to try to find some crimes the same way that they did him, now that he has the power again? I don't see what's so wrong with that. And if they did nothing, then they don't have to worry about nothing. But if they did something, they don't deserve preemptive pardons. That's so crazy.
Last year, Donald Trump verbally attacked Liz Cheney, saying that she committed, quote, egregious and unthinkable acts of crime. That was December 22nd, less than a month ago. Of Mark Milley, in the past, he suggested that he deserved execution, and the fact that some of the actions he had taken in the past would have been worthy of execution. So to be clear, Joe Biden, some of his final actions now to preemptively pardon some of those high-profile figures. Savannah.
Wow. People, there is no difference. There's no difference in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Maybe there is a difference, but the Republicans, I think the Republicans and conservatives are more honest about the actions they take and are going to take. They will tell you straight up what they're going to do, even if it can be perceived as something bad up front. They're going to be transparent for the most part about the moves they're going to make and tell you why they're going to make them. Democrats, the reason why I don't trust the higher ups in the Democratic Party is because they hide behind this cloak of kind of being holier than thou, and this cloak of being the good guys. When all the while, and they hide behind censorship, they hide behind semantics, they hide behind the words and the wording, the way they word things. to hide some of the most evil intentions. And they doing some of the same things that Republicans doing, but they will lie about it until it actually comes down to it. For instance, Biden in 2020. Let's check out what he said about Trump possibly preemptively pardoning people.
Considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
President Trump is...
Right. Sure, Mr. President. Sure. So, as I was saying, a blatant lie. Maybe it wasn't a lie at the time, but in retrospect, in hindsight, it's a bold-faced. I'm trying to stop cussing so much in my videos. But they be getting me so riled up, man, because this turned out to be a lie because he was trying to act holier than thou, like I said earlier. And it just makes no sense because in my mind, everybody that he preemptively pardoned, especially Dr. Fauci, because I know it's a lot of people that want him to be investigated in the whole coronavirus debacle that happened a few years ago. Like, if there's any wrongdoing on his part, it should definitely be investigated and it should come out. And he should be held accountable. All these people should be held accountable for what they may have possibly done. But now they will never be unless Trump can get in there and undo. But I don't think this is undoable. It's crazy, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Do you think this is totally fine? Do you see nothing wrong with it? Do you agree with CNN and NBC that, this is totally normal? Trump just wants revenge on these people. They did nothing wrong, and this just protects them from the cost of being persecuted over the next 4 years. Or will you forever look at these people like myself with the stain on their name and their reputation, and that they got away with whatever they did now that Biden decided to make this criminal move, in my opinion? I don't know, man. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I go by the name of Tommy Guns. Please subscribe to the channel if you found any value in this video. Like the video. And this is Quote Goes Podcast. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.